Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. And boy, do we have a show for you tonight. We've spent hours preparing for this show.
I don't know if you should say
Actually,
things like
hours
that.
preparing for something, but just not this show.
It's been a day.
It has been a day. Welcome, Amanda.
Yeah, hi guys.
I said, what do you got today? Hoping for just anything, right? I have a story. I have this. I have that going on. And you replied with a yes answer.
I started back to school today, so I got nothing.
No help whatsoever. We can't talk about the Utes. That would not be appropriate.
You know that I can talk if you get me on the right topic. We'll get there.
I had no idea that as a woman you had that capability.
I'm fully capable of filibustering for an hour.
I had no
Should the
idea
need
you were
arise.
capable of that. Might
Know
have been the
thyself.
first question in your interview about being hired on this network.
Know thyself.
Can you fill an hour? Yeah, I can do that. 59 minutes later, she stopped answering that question.
Yes.
I woke up and said, you're hired.
Why do you think I like Sheriff Hardwick so much?
Oh, he's awesome. Sheriff Hardwick is the
That's who we
bomb
should
of
have
an
had
interview.
today.
He is so good. He's such
great.
lots of information and long answers. He's just the best. It's
With
the
a
best
great
in the world.
personality.
Oh, yeah.
Long answers with a not great personality would be a whole different topic.
That's called interviewing a politician or a congressman is what that's called.
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't matter which party they're in. They both can give the same
Oh, for sure.
BS answer.
The same non-answer.
Yes. All right. Let's make some money.
Okay.
And then we'll do other stuff.
Alrighty.
All right, let's get real for a second. Finding a great dentist is like finding the perfect beach spot in St. Augustine. I got to agree with that. Rare, refreshing, and absolutely worth it. Enter Dr. Stephanie Kinsley and her team at Palencia Dental, where going to the dentist feels more like visiting a spa than sitting in that dreaded chair. Dr. Stephanie isn't your ordinary dentist. She's a community superstar. When she's not transforming smiles at Palencia Dental, she's singing her heart out in the village church choir or volunteering her time as director of dentistry at Wildflower Clinic. Yay for Wildflower Clinic and
Yay.
Dr. Stephanie. Providing dental care to those who need it most. This is someone who doesn't just care about your teeth. She cares about you. And let's talk about the experience at Palencia Dental. From the moment you walk in, you'll wonder if you accidentally booked a luxury retreat. Relaxing atmosphere check. State-of-the-art technology, double check. A dentist who can sing and make you laugh while crafting your perfect smile. That's a triple check. So why settle for just any dentist when you can have someone who's wildly talented, deeply caring, and 100% committed to your comfort? Visit PalenciaDental.com or call them 904-826-4343. Book an appointment today.
Absolutely. The concert update. The Philharmonic that was originally scheduled to perform Sunday, January 19th in St. Augustine has been canceled due to travel visa issues. The entire U.S. tour is canceled, unfortunately.
Trump had nothing to do with it.
Prior to Trump, so you can't blame him. That also includes their St. Augustine stop. So the Jacksonville Symphony came in clutch. They will perform on the same date, same time, same location with a delightful program of Dvorak and Tchaikovsky. We apologize for any inconvenience. The seats are still available. You can call at 904-797-2800 or purchase tickets at emmaconcerts.com. Tickets for the Czech Philharmonic can still be used for this Jacksonville Symphony concert. An updated email from your ticket vendor, myboxoffice.us, has been sent with a new performance information in digital form. So the Emma Concert Association makes every effort to provide a high-quality musical performance in St. Augustine. Refunds are available for patrons. If they are not satisfied with the replacement, please contact the box office at 904-797-2800. A limited number of tickets are still available at emmaconcerts.com. They are an amazing organization. They provide scholarships for music education that's much needed in this world. Powell Heating and Air Conditioning, their dedication to customer service has been evident in everything they do from the moment they answer your call until the time they leave your home. They are working to make you comfortable and confident about the care and service you receive from Powell. With their fleet of 10-plus trucks, a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked with parts and equipment, they're ready to serve you around the clock. They service all heating and air conditioning brands. They've been locally owned in business for 39 years. Their emergency service is always open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, including nights, weekends, and holidays. Powell Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your comfort needs.
And SolarStick, they were established in 2006. They're a local portable power company, proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. SolarStick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. SolarStick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing right here in the nation's oldest city. They love them. They've been one of our original sponsors.
Yeah,
We have so many original sponsors that are still here.
we do. They're
We
great.
love the original sponsors. Yes.
Yes,
All right. So you are in search of a new car.
I am. They totaled my car right before I got here on Thursday, and we officially signed it over on Friday. It's a whole thing. My insurance company is still coming after me with calls and text messages, and I got to talk to the guy that caused the accident. I got to talk to his insurance. That was an interesting phone call.
Yep.
So that was fun on Friday. But yeah, we're in the market for a new vehicle. So I have to have a vehicle with a large capacity for cargo 1 day a week.
Mhm.
And that's homeschool day because I run science labs and I need microscopes and I have bags and bags of books and my kids have bags and bags of books and I have like candy bins and games and a blackboard or a whiteboard because there's no boards in my classroom, so I have to bring it with me. So I have to like bring a whole schoolroom in my vehicle 1 day a week. And so we don't have the rental car anymore because the policy is if they total your vehicle, you get 3 days after they total it to replace it. So my policy is up to 30 days with a rental car, but that's only if they're repairing it. If they total it, you get 3 more days and you're out. So that's how we ended up with rushing into the purchase of that minivan.
Yep.
In the first place was because my husband was working in Palm Coast. He was going to school in Jacksonville. I was working and running a homeschool community at that point as well. And so like we needed 2 vehicles because my husband was gone most of the time.
Yep.
And so I'm not just going to be trapped at the house with the kids. If something happens, like I need to be able to get them to the hospital. So that's how we rushed into that van to begin with.
Okay.
And so this time we're not rushing. And I was doing some research on vehicles and I found some fun options online. I was talking to Clay about it on Sunday in between services at church. And I was super excited, like heated steering wheel, heated seats, like all kinds of cool stuff. And then my husband came in and said, "Oh, that's not our budget." So
Not the budget.
yeah. It
So
doesn't look
how
like
many
it's gonna be as
bicycles
much
are
fun.
you guys buying?
We're going to have to build a bicycle built for 5,
Uh-huh.
and we're all going to have to pedal together.
Gonna pedal together in a bicycle for
We'll
5.
get one of those like baby carriages
on
that
Old
you can
Moultrie
hack on the back.
Road where there's 0 sidewalks and people drive a bazillion miles an hour.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. Ugh.
Do they sell Uber gift cards?
We might need to get you an Uber gift card. We might honestly need to put some money
For
in
what
an
they
Uber
gave me for
account.
my van, I might be able to afford just enough to get me through the end of the school year.
Gosh.
It's
So
a thing.
are you going out to Bozard Ford this time?
So I need something with a lot of cargo room. And the thing with the most cargo room in my price point, my very sad price point, are minivans. And Ford doesn't have a minivan.
But they might have a used one.
So they had 2, I've been on all the websites. They had 2 Chrysler Pacificas
Mm-hmm.
in their certified pre-owned blah, blah, blah section. And the one I liked better, which turns out is out of my budget, it sold. And the other one was still there on Sunday, but that was it. That's
Yep.
all they had.
There's not a lot in the used car market right now,
It's
which has
hard.
driven used car prices
Yeah.
higher.
So what I'm finding is the nicer ones that are more affordable they hit their mileage limit at the rental place, and the rental place turned it in. And so that's what I'm finding in the minivan used car market. The ones that look the nicest
Which
are
means
the
it's
ones
not
that
like
have been in rentals.
So it's not like the little old lady drove it. It's like a lot of different people drove that
It's
car.
like 1 to 2 years old with 70,000 miles.
And Dirty Mike and the boys rented it at some point in time.
Yeah.
Not this Dirty Mike. The Dirty Mike that was in the Will
Yeah.
Ferrell movie.
So that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
do I want to get a vehicle that was a rental car? And my husband was like, nobody's driving a minivan hard. It's not like an SUV. Like, people are breaking axles on SUV
Have
rentals.
you not seen some of the minivan people that drive around this town?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't
The
a minivan that
U-turns,
caused
the
this
unexpected
accident.
lane changes, the sudden stops.
It wasn't a minivan that caused this accident. It was
Mhm.
a truck.
A large truck.
And so one of the vehicles that I saw that was for sale in St. Augustine, it was a Dodge Grand Caravan minivan. It was the same color as the truck that hit me, and I just start twitching. Like, no, I don't want that car.
All right, so Amanda's looking for a car.
Amanda's looking
Needs
for
to
a car.
be a van, preferably a minivan,
Yeah.
which Louis will never have to drive. I
There
hope.
is a Ford Edge out there that
Yeah.
looks like it is got more of the footprint of a minivan. I don't know if it has the same kind of cargo capacity as a minivan. I don't know. I'll look at it.
So we need a minivan.
Uh-huh.
You know of anybody that's got a great minivan that's looking to
Yes.
sell it? Amanda needs a minivan.
Non-smoker.
Not
Non-smoker
okay. Well,
minivan.
that's it. We can't help you now. It's out. Everybody that drives a minivan with kids
the
is
other
always
thing-
smoking.
The other thing that I found is ever since we started buying vehicles post having children, is we like to have one vehicle that has a DVD player.
Hmm.
We don't let our kids watch. They know that it has to be a trip longer than 45 minutes in order to get to watch the TV.
Yes.
Because I want my kids to look out the window and chase the rain droplet down the window because it's good for them.
Yeah.
So they only get to watch it on long road trips. But we do road trips fairly frequently. And so it's nice to have the DVD. I'm finding no used cars with an integrated DVD player. And I think it's because 5-year-olds have cell phones now. So nobody has integrated entertainment systems
Yes.
for the children anymore because they just pull up their iPads or their iPhones. And my kids
Well-
do not have that. And so I need a TV.
That was the strangest thing for us. I mean, we had minivans for a while with the
Yeah.
4 kids, and that was one of the strangest things is early on the minivans didn't have DVD players. So you rigged up your own DVD
Yeah,
portable player.
we've done that.
You rigged it up in the car and everyone watched the movie. And then the minivans had the DVD players with the headphones. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I'm
Magic.
sure now it's all Bluetooth, right? I'm sure they
Yeah.
Bluetooth their own
Well,
headphones.
they do
to
have
it.
headphones. So we had in Vanessa, who's
Mm-hmm.
now dead, in Vanessa, she had Bluetooth headphones with the DVD player. And that was like, oh, we've got a minivan with a DVD player, and this one has Bluetooth headphones. And so your kids can wear it, and you don't have that like strangulation risk of having a cord.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess what? They didn't work. Shocker.
Ah.
The DVD player didn't even work. They sold us on a DVD player. They pull it down. It has the little logo, but it wouldn't read a disc. And so we called the guy that sold it to us, and he replaced it for no charge. That was the only thing they rectified when
That
they sold us a
minivan
janky.
needed to
Yeah.
go.
I'm not sad to see that particular vehicle
Yep.
gone because she was a problem and she had lots and lots of problems. I hate car shopping because it's miserable. And I also hate change, and I'm used to everything in Vanessa. And she's so old that nothing looks like it anymore.
Oh, nothing's going to look
Even
like that
if we
car.
got a Honda Odyssey to
No. Mm-hmm.
replace the Honda Odyssey, the dash doesn't look right anymore. I hate not having a key. The push start thing bothers me so much. I hate it.
I miss turning the key too.
I love a key.
I miss the key. I got to say, when I first had the push to start, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but I missed the key.
miss
So
it.
the Jeep that I have is a 2014, so it still has
Yeah.
the key. And I'm like, yes.
I know.
It's manual transmission and a key. I love it.
There's not a single vehicle younger than the one that just got totaled that I have found that has a key.
Yeah.
It's a problem. So I've been doing lots of research on minivans. What I'm finding as the highest rated ones are the Honda Odyssey, which is what I just got rid of. Not got rid of, but got taken from me. The Chrysler Pacifica, the Toyota Sienna, and weirdly the Kia Carnival. Those are the ones
The
that
carnival,
are
they
yeah,
call it a
they
carnival.
call it a carnival.
Can we get one for Pete?
It's a party in a box,
Can
baby.
we get one for Pete?
I
It's a
don't like
carnival.
the inside, like the cockpit area of the carnival. It looks very uncomfortable. So probably not going to go with that one.
That's the
Not
one you're getting. You want to
no.
bet? You want to bet right now that that's the one you're going to
It
end
is
up
free.
with? You are going to end up with that car.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
well, good luck shopping.
I don't have time to shop either. I've got a
Right, you're
kid.
back to school.
I'm back to school. I've got a kid with a birthday. I'm planning a party for like 11 girls are going to spend the night in my house. I have to figure out where they're going to sleep.
Louis, we have a spare
can't do this.
bedroom. Bring Gavin over. Come on.
So the little kids have a sleepover that night. So that became a thing about 3 years ago that
Mhm.
Isabella was like, can I request to not have my siblings in the house when I have my birthday party? We're too big for the kids to be running around.
Uh-huh.
So she hasn't had her siblings at her like party
Yeah.
for a few years. So we have friends that have siblings the same ages as my younger
Mhm.
two. And so they graciously accept my refugee children each year for Isabella's birthday.
I think that not having the other kids there is a must if you're having a sleepover.
Oh my word.
It's
So
just,
many
it's like
teenage girls.
so bad. Yeah.
So many teenage girls are coming to my house
Mm-hmm.
for a Mamma Mia party.
Yeah.
It's a Mamma Mia party a year too early because the ABBA song is Dancing Queen. She's only 17.
You are responsible for this. That's all I'm going to say.
It's-
You are responsible.
It's a lot. I have to do like an ABBA Grease themed Sweet 16 party.
Did you put Happy Monday in the headline?
I did.
Isn't that an oxymoron?
I'm trying to speak it into reality.
Oh, okay.
I'm manifesting a happy Monday.
All right.
So how was your weekend?
My weekend, I'll actually tell a true story on me. So we got to
For a
babysit
change.
for a change. So we got to babysit
Mm-hmm.
Sean, who's 13, and also, or 14, and then also Xander.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of interesting. I had a lot of little work projects to do. Sean was somewhat, he's a teenager.
Yeah.
You want to do work projects with your grandfather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or not. And then Xander was full on, let me see how many additional work projects I can create for you.
Yeah.
So
How many things you break?
I'm going to tell you the broke part later. I'm going to tell you the broke part. It was amazing what he was able to do in a nanosecond. So Sean and I, we do a bunch of stuff, and I bought an ice pod, which is just a kind of a vinyl
an insulated
circular.
tub, right?
It's not even really insulated, but we had to get it all set up.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sean is a huge Lego kid.
Yeah.
He has put together Lego sets that are amazing. He brought a Formula One race car out yesterday. It was a Lego one that the parts of it actually were. I mean, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, well, look, the ice pod is just like putting a Lego together, just a little bit different. So you got the instructions. I'm going to throw my reading glasses away.
Yeah.
And we're going to work our way through this.
Nice.
So the only thing we did is it wasn't specific on where to put the grommet that you use for the seal whenever you hook up to the top, because there's two prongs that come out of the top. Water goes in one and comes out the other one. So I thought, well, you just stretch these over the prongs, and then on the part that has the screw at the threads, you just thread that thing in and it'll seal.
Yeah.
Boy,
No.
I want you to know there's a lot of water that was going through that system, and it was not going where it was supposed to go. So I undid that, looked at the instructions. Nowhere does it say just sit it on top of
Uh-huh.
the. Nowhere does it say that.
Yeah.
Nowhere does it say insert the grommet into the female end that's going down over the bed, so you can thread all that stuff in. So we figure that out. We get that leak taken care of. We have one other little leak to take. So we get it all worked up and ready to go on Saturday. And then I was all excited Sunday morning to go out there and jump in the ice pod. But my thermometer, and I know it was only because it's in the wind and it was on the back side of the house, the west side of the house, said 29 degrees when I woke up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You
okay,
didn't go?
I don't think the thermometer's working. But no, I did not go. I went
come
Sunday
on.
afternoon. I jumped in, and it was awesome and amazing. I haven't been in one in about 4 months. And I was like, okay, I'll just do 3 minutes. And I
Yeah.
had a song that was playing for 4.5, and I was like, okay, I can probably make 4.
Nice.
And then I was like, all my friends that have these do 5 minutes. So I don't want to be a wimp, so I'll just stay in here. But it felt really good. And then I had already started the infrared
tell you how
sauna,
long
so I
I
went
go.
straight to the infrared sauna
Yeah.
afterwards, which is amazing.
Well,
We were
they
not
say
supposed
you're
to-
supposed to go back and forth.
I haven't tried that yet.
So ice, hot,
I hadn't
and
tried
then
that one
back into ice, and
Yeah.
that really kicks everything in.
I'm just telling you that the one to, you're not supposed to stay in it longer than about 3 to 5 minutes.
Nuh-uh.
Girl, I don't know where you're reading this stuff, but that is not.
8 minutes, baby.
8 minutes?
8 minutes.
I'm not believing that. I want to see data, and I'm asking Levi on Wednesday.
All right.
Don't call him up and tell him the answer to everything is 8 minutes on Wednesday.
Ice bath for 8 minutes.
Now, what's the temperature of the ice bath?
Well, so that was about 48. But, I mean, I'll go.
I had it set at 52. So, but it felt really, really good.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy to set up. But
you did 5 minutes at 52?
Yeah.
All right.
I did. I haven't been in it
I have to
6
work
months.
hard for mine to get to 48. Maybe not right now, but yeah.
I listen. That
if
was
it's
it.
the least bit warm, then we try.
It's just no good for you.
If it's the least bit warm outside, because ours doesn't have a cooler.
Yes.
So we have to make ice and we have to put ice in it. And then we're like the lemon on the sides of the ice water.
Well, right now, it's like, leave it running all the time. I'm like, why? It's so cold outside.
It's so cold, yeah.
I don't need, now during the summer, I'll leave it running all the time. But yeah. So no, so that was that part. So while Sean and I are fixing that, we're getting it all up and running. It's a little cold on the back porch Saturday.
Yeah.
So Darcy's going to make Sean some hot chocolate. So she opens up the drawer with the hot tea and the hot chocolate and all the other stuff. And Xander comes by, and there's a self-closing hinge on the bottom.
Okay.
And he just takes his finger and he goes, click. And the cover for the self-closing hinge comes off. And the spring for the self-closing hinge comes out.
Pop.
So Sean tries to put it back together upside down on your back. And I tried to put it together. And eventually I was just like, we got to go to dinner. We're going to take Sean and Xander back home. We'll do this Sunday. So Sunday morning, I'm fixing some other stuff. And all of a sudden, my son Matthew comes over and he's like, oh, I can fix that. So he's trying to fix it upside down. I said, there's only one way to do this. You got to take the whole drawer out.
Yeah.
You got to flip it over. So we flipped it over. We had all the parts where they were supposed to be. But every time he turned it over, the orange cover kept falling off of it. So I said, there's got to be a way to attach this. Did he break it? Did he not break it? And finally, I realized there's a hole and there's a pin. And I thought, well, there's a rib on the pin, so maybe that gets pushed into it. I said, it's either going to break it or it's going to snap into place. It's broken now, so what do I have to lose? Little bit of force. Click. Victory! It's back together until Xander comes over again. Now, the thing about Xander is once he figures something out, he goes to that exact same place every time he's at the house. So he's going to go to that drawer and he's going to go try to flick that thing off of there one more time. I know him.
Yeah.
He's just, there's a, Beth and Mike, his other grandparents, they have a light switch that's super low. So a little 1.5-year-old can reach the light switch.
Yeah.
When he gets to their house and you put him on the ground, he runs that light switch and flicks it up and down. So I know that in his mind, that thing got broken once, it can get broken again. So he is all in for trying to, I know.
You need to go on Amazon, which I know you don't have an account, so Darcy, do it.
Yep.
And buy April Fool's gag insects. And just put insects on it.
Okay.
Like roaches, spiders. Not all at one time, but like have a bag of them. So he runs over to it and there's a cockroach on it. Ah! And then
I don't think he's
next
that. He'd
time,
probably be
spider.
trying to like, you gotta, no. There's actually a new lock now because Reese and Courtney have it because Xander opens up every drawer and it's a magnetic lock.
Yeah.
So you run the magnet past it and it moves the arm over so you can open the door.
We had a couple of those.
So he was all into getting into the trash doors and all that other stuff. And so, and he's like this close to being able to reach the door handle to go out on the back porch. He's like this close to be able to get to turning knobs.
Yeah.
So the adventure is just beginning.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
When we moved into the house that we're currently in, we had just grown out of the needing child locks on all of the cabinets. And so we got into the kitchen and Louie and I just kind of high-five. We're like, we don't need to install child locks. And then our cat, who was very lovely and didn't get into unwanted cabinets and go diving in the trash, passed away. And we adopted a couple of new cats, and one of them is Garfield, essentially. He's obese, so we had to put him on a diet, which he's lost weight, and he's now at a healthy weight. But because he's lost weight, he's ravenous. And so we have to keep a water bottle because he'll like get into the food while Louie's cooking. It doesn't matter that Louie's got his hands like dressing the chicken. He's trying to come over the counter to get it. Luckily, he's not super agile, so it limits where he can get. But the island is he can jump up on the bench on the table and then jump up on the high top chairs and then get on the island. And so we have to keep the water bottle there, and we're gonna have to install child locks to keep him out of the trash.
So we had one cat, Daisy, who did the most annoying thing.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy always wanted to drink out of whatever cup was on the counter. 10 million cups spilled later. This stupid cat is still trying to figure out how to drink out of the cup and is knocking them over constantly. You could not leave a water cup anywhere. That cat was like, had radar, water cup on the counter, boom, right to it, knocks cup over. There's glass that might be on the floor. So you're like, okay, only plastic cups on the counters and only empty cups on the counters. It was like, don't leave a cup.
Churro has a problem with water cups too. And that is why my tabletop the wood on my tabletop is destroyed, because he would do it. It would go underneath the placemat.
Yep.
The kids would see it, not want to be in trouble. So they would dry what they could see, but they didn't always pick up the placemat and dry underneath the placemat. So then you just have a laminated placemat holding all of that water against the wood.
Yep.
So the surface is wrecked. I have to redo the table, and I don't want to.
I hate that when you have a really fun tabletop like that. Like,
Not fun.
No, it's not. It's not fun at all.
Because I'm like, I go scorched earth. If I have to seal this, I'm sealing it with that like pour on epoxy, and that's so expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like to do it, but I like it when it's done.
7 days. 7 days.
1 week.
We just have to make it a week. Just one more week.
Yeah.
Today, our lovely president said he has also pushed very hard to put more Secret Service agents on the board.
Secret Service?
Yeah. Yeah,
Why
it's
do we
okay.
need
Shh, don't confuse him. Don't confuse him, Amanda. Just let it go.
Okie dokie.
At this point, it's not worth explaining it to him.
Yeah.
Just smile and nod. Smile and nod. That's all we got to do is smile and nod here for 7 days.
Were you able to go to Jimmy Jam on Saturday?
No.
I wasn't either.
I was putting together the ice pod.
I was.
We were
sad.
babysitting.
You were babysitting.
And babysitting is whenever we get a chance to watch the boys. It's awesome and it's fun.
Number one priority.
Yeah. Whenever your teenage grandson looks at you and says, "That was kind of fun working with you."
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, "Hey, we got to put this together. We got to put that together," and
they're
then I
like,
want to teach them how to put it all together, so that they're. Because when I was a kid, you never got to use any of the cool tools. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah.
Let's get this figured out. So
I have pictures of my son. I think he was 4, and he was helping me put a bookcase together. And my mom was stressing out, and I'm like, you need to leave the room. And he's just sitting there with this giant hammer that's way too big for him. He didn't crush his thumb. He was fine.
just gotta let
There's
him
only
go.
one way to learn.
There's only one way to learn.
He's about to have to. I think I told everybody about him breaking the window in my house with one of his toy knives. So he did not get booked for pressure washing gigs to pay us back. So his daddy said he has to take care of the stump in the backyard. Cut down a sycamore tree a couple of years ago. And we've just had the stump for a while. And now he was like, well, you can pressure wash the fence and work some of it off. I'll pay you by the hour, or deduct by the hour, or you can do the stump. And he was like, oh, I don't want to pressure wash the fence. I'll do the stump. I'm like, that'll last 15 minutes.
Did he make it 15 minutes?
He hasn't started yet.
Wow.
He just got a hatchet for Christmas, though.
Oh, man. A hatchet for Christmas.
His
you guys
sister
are
got him a hatchet
so
and a knife
so cruel and unusual.
He's real excited about that hatchet and knife set
unusual.
for the moment.
Yeah.
Until he has to use it. There was some local news.
Wait a minute. Bobby has bad news for us.
Okay.
It's sad news for me and it's happy news for Bob.
Okay.
So according to Bobby, you can fish off of the pier, the St. Augustine Pier, at high tide only.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, Bobby, it's not that deep at the end of that. So just so you know, but it's very sad news for me because if you guys are fishing there, I'm not surfing there.
That changes your break, doesn't it?
No, it just changes how many sinkers and lines you have to dodge while you're trying to surf out there.
Like dodgeball.
So having the water all the way at the end of the pier was awesome. So it's not far enough away from the pier right now where we can surf it.
Yeah.
right off the end of the pier. And the end of the pier was really pretty good. So, Bobby, I'm glad that you're able to fish again. It's been a while. I will tell you this, the surf has still continued to be this is one of the most miserably long runs of no surf I've seen in a long time.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'll live. I'll be all right. I'll be okay.
He had to grow a beard. He was so sad.
I am. I may have to shave the beard because I think I grew the beard about the time that the surf got bad.
Yeah.
So it might be the beard. You might have just stepped on what it is, and I may have to
I'm
shave
sorry,
the beard
Darcy.
just to find out.
Sorry.
I kind of like the beard too, but it's
Yeah.
got to go. No, it's just been it's November. End of November was no good. December was brutal. And January has made December look great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's okay. I've got a friend who hasn't been fishing in months and months and months. And there's only a window of in between these winter storms. And then March comes around. And as you know, March can tend to be kind of windy. So he's got no hope until like May. So I feel awful for him. So
Sorry.
awful for my fishing buddy. But yeah. All right. So local news.
There was some local news. There was a girl in Clay County that was missing, and she had been missing for a while. They found her this weekend.
Okay.
So she's been reunited with her family. So she's been missing since December. And so we're very happy to hear that this young lady is back with her family.
That's good news.
And there was a very tragic story about a hit and run. A boy was walking to his bus stop. Hit and run. He's in the hospital. He's in pretty bad shape, but they did find the driver. So at least that's something that they found the driver.
All right. And the Smokin' D's, which is just north of the Zaxby's, right on US 1.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there today. I have no idea. There were 20 fire trucks, fire cars, and law enforcement personnel
Smoking
there.
D's
at,
not
like,
smoking, huh?
It was like at 4 o'clock. The sign open was still on the door
Okay.
and still lit up.
Maybe they were just hungry.
But I know lights were flashing, the whole 9 yards. They were bringing a ladder truck in.
Maybe it was first responder day.
I
They
don't
got to eat for
know.
free.
I don't know. And
I'll see if I can figure it out.
it locked up all of the traffic
Yeah, that would.
going south on US 1.
Let's see.
So I don't know if it's cleared up or not. If you've gone by there, send us a note. Let us know. Don't text and drive. Just when you get to a light, let us know. If you're stuck in the
That's it.
traffic, you have plenty of time to let us know.
Yes.
But yes.
So many.
Oh, man. It was not good. It was not good. Also, there's supposed to be a full moon tonight, but I don't think anybody's going to be able to see it.
That's why.
All of this rain.
So the one of the many insurance people I talked to today, this past week, she was telling me just all of the people that keep lying to her. And she's like, it's not even like believable lies.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't know why everyone's lying to me. I'm just sitting here trying to do my job. You don't have to lie to me. So I asked her if it was a full moon, and she's like, I don't know. That was close. Close enough maybe to make everybody crazy. I'm not seeing anything on Smokin' D's Facebook page that would answer
I
the
don't know if it'd be
question.
up there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe St. Augustine News. Them people seem to know everything.
Is that?
No comment.
No comment. No, you just said I'll check another source.
Hmm?
I don't want Pete to get mad.
What?
I don't want Pete
It's
to
not
get
a news source. It's just a community page
Oh.
called St. Augustine News where everyone talks garbage.
mad. Oh,
Yes. Let's see if I can
fire away. See what they got.
Mm-hmm.
See what they got. While you're doing that, we also have next week, all the planets are supposed to align.
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be an amazing night if you can go see it. Hopefully we'll get some. Keely, full moon energy goes 3 days before and 3 days after. And Keely, all the planets are aligning next week. So I would
Well, I
expect
talked to her on
wild,
Friday, so
crazy
that would
stuff.
fit.
Huh?
I talked to her on Friday, so that would fit.
Yeah.
That was a funny conversation.
It's all going to be crazy.
I found out how they caught the guy that caused the accident.
Is this like top secret information? Are
It's
you
in the
gonna be-
it's in the police report, so it's public record.
Okay.
So he claimed that he was hit and that driver drove off. So he didn't leave the scene of the accident. He was trying to find the driver that caused the accident.
I like this story.
And
I don't know if it's true or not, but I like this story.
unfortunately for him, there was enough damage that he couldn't maintain control of his vehicle and ended up in a ditch. and he was in a ditch in such a way that he was like pinned in. So they busted him because God said, nope, and pushed him right in the ditch.
Did he have damage to the back of his car where he was
Not that was reported in the police report.
Okay. That's the first thing I'm looking for.
My insurance adjuster said that there was a dent on his bumper.
I don't know if that's like a dog ate my homework story or not, but if it is, it's one of the best ones. And if it's true,
it was in the police report,
right?
So I guess I can say that.
If it's true that somebody did hit him, you're like,
nobody saw that.
You feel like he's the guy. What was the Harrison Ford movie?
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive. You feel like he's suddenly become the fugitive trying.
So the police didn't believe that story, and he was the only one ticketed for the accident. So that's.
Maybe OJ can help him find the other driver.
I don't think OJ's legal team is intact to help him out.
Nah, I'm just thinking, OJ always said he'd find the killer.
Yeah. Well,
maybe he could take some time from
away?
that. I think he did. Yes.
I think he found the killer.
Is OJ not with us anymore?
I think he passed away.
I don't
His
remember.
people were kind of celebrating.
I don't remember him passing away, but there's a lot of stuff that happened a few years ago.
You might have been on vacation.
I could have been on. Yeah, I mean, I could have been surfing somewhere. No telling. No telling. So Trump's nominees started to go through.
He died April 10th, 2024.
It hasn't even been a year.
Mm-mm. In Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. But President Trump's nominees are starting to go through confirmation hearings.
Mm-hmm.
Dems were salivating at Pete Hegseth.
I hate when Dems salivate.
Adam Schiff's not a good salivator.
I wouldn't know. I have no experience.
Just take my word for it. But anyway, there's one word supposedly in the FBI report about Pete Hegseth that
Dreamy?
unremarkable.
Okay.
Somebody said that the report is unremarkable,
Given...
which has got to be like a complete blow because Democrats are like, oh, we got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first of all, I don't think Lloyd Austin has done a very good job as defense secretary. He got passed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys on the Democratic side can put up Lloyd Austin, who to me took time off from the job without telling anybody he was taking time off from the job to have a surgery and didn't have a second in command running the show. Mm-hmm. That's your guy. Hegseth can do at least that good. So I'm okay. Let's get him in.
Well, given the current state of the FBI,
yes.
If they think he's unremarkable, that's probably a stamp that he's pretty good.
He's probably pretty good. Well, I think it was just that the report itself was unremarkable and there wasn't anything in the report that they could find.
I don't want to say smoking weapon analogy because I don't want to get us.
No, don't get that. We're living large here in a new day on this platform, so we're trying to work through that.
Yep. Are we giving the Zuck a chance since he's trying to? Hello, everybody.
We're gonna see what happens to numbers, and if there's a stark contrast in numbers.
I mean, we got double digits on a Monday, so that's not bad.
I personally think the numbers have been suppressed for a long time because of the topics that we talk about and the things that I say.
Yes, for sure.
And I know for a fact during COVID for sure.
Yes, I was here when you and Pete were on the show, and Pete decided to let loose. And our numbers tanked for about 6 months.
I know. It's just,
hi, Pete.
Hey, and Pete's on here today.
I've got video of Pete Hegseth talking about the Florida Man games.
Oh,
is this real or is it a deep fake?
No. Listen, Pete only deep fakes me. The only person that Jeremy Redfin ever calls is me. And then he gets the governor on the line. That's me that Pete does that too.
Can't believe he's a white bread.
Hey, Pete, Donald Trump called me the other day and I hung up on him.
White bread, what is it? Grilled cheese?
Yeah.
Is that what he wanted?
Yeah.
White,
yes, grilled cheese.
White bread, American cheese.
Yeah,
cheese, that was what we're having.
Pete knows. He's fully aware of what's going on.
Pretty funny.
All right, California fires. All right, first of all, it's a horrible tragedy.
Tragic.
It's a terrible tragedy. Okay. Yeah. I think the worst tragedy is about to unfold. And that is people trying to build back. So California has more rules than any other state about construction and more hoops to get through and everything else. In a sane world run by competent leaders, governor, and I hate to say this because if they did it, it would actually be an amazing help to the residents of California.
Yeah.
Governor Newsom should go and declare a state of emergency over all of those blocks and say you have to issue the permit within 10 days of receiving the plans.
Yeah.
Period. Done. End of statement. He's not going to do that because all these boards are filled with people that have an agenda of keeping people from building. I do not think it's going to take long for the residents of California to be in a full recall for the mayor of Los Angeles and maybe even Gavin Newsom when they can't rebuild their houses. And apparently there's a coastal commission that oversees construction along the coastline. So if you've been out there, there's the highway, the Pacific Coast Highway, and then there's a lot of houses that are, just single units right along the ocean. I'm going to bet that they don't want most of those there, that they propped up before the commission came into being. And I would also bet that those are some very expensive properties.
Yeah.
And so I just think this is the nightmare of building back is just beginning. And I don't believe that California can figure out. And then if you bought your house for, let's just say $300 a square foot. California's got the highest cost per square foot to build back. And that was before they were trying to build back all these houses at one time.
Yeah.
Without the labor force.
And probably before there were all of the green regulations that have been added since then.
So I'm wondering if it was 300, does it become 500 or 550 to build back a square foot or more? And are some people even going to be able to afford to build back?
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be really incredible.
Andy had something to say. He said that he heard that he was signing an executive order to bypass some of the red tape. How could he threaten the planet like that? I really wonder if Californians are thinking back to that Gavin Newsom recall election versus Larry Elder, and they're really regretting how that went.
Well, to me, you've got a supermajority in the House and the Senate in California. You should be able to walk into them and go, morons, we need to get this done if we want to stay in office and in power in California. So we're going to pass a whole bunch of stuff that you don't like. And then you can get the next governor to rescind all of it, but we're going to pass all this. The other one I heard, and I heard it from two different sources. I don't know if it's true or not. So I'm going to tell you that was on the internet. I don't believe everything I see on the internet. But two different people said that whenever other states sent fire trucks into California, that the fire trucks had to pass the California emission standards before they would let them go help. Now, if that's true, that's sheer stupidity. If it's not true, California's done enough stuff that people actually believed that story would be true. So I'm kind of waiting to see if I see it in a more reliable source. But the two that have come up with it, it's like, okay, that's very interesting. If it's true.
So Gavin Newsom did sign an executive order to streamline rebuilding.
Streamline is not, you basically say you have 10 days to approve the permit. That's streamlining rebuilding. It isn't going to streamline it. It might streamline it from 2025 California laws back to 2015 California laws, which still in the rest of the country is an incredible amount of BS.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm just...
What are your thoughts on Biden pledging to pay 100% to rebuild the mansions of billionaires in California?
Wait a minute. Was he talking about California? I thought that was North Carolina he was talking about.
No, they got $700.
I thought it was $750. I think it was $750. Don't you short circuit Joe Biden's presidency. Okay. He cares about people, Amanda. He cares. $750 and a tent right before the winter storm comes. Now, I think that all of that is going to look very different next Monday. And I think there are plenty of people who lost their houses, who are not celebrities, who are not millionaires, and who are going to desperately need some help. Just like there's people that lost their houses in the floods or the hurricanes or earthquakes or all the other things that we go through. So I very much... and
it was $750 in North Carolina. It was $700 in Hawaii when they had their fire.
Those Hawaiian people getting taken advantage of.
They got $700. North Carolina got $750. Inflation. It's been a couple years.
Andy, I'm going to make a prediction. Gavin Newsom is done and toast and will never make it to the first Democratic debate. He is not ready for prime time for this kind of emergency. This takes somebody of action, somebody who can think outside the box, and somebody who's willing to tell anybody in his party and other parties, we're not going to hold up this building process. He is not going to be able to do that. It's just not in his DNA.
Well, he's always been sort of cool as a cucumber, Jason Bateman type. You can't rattle him. And the way he's lashed out at people that have tried to talk to him when he's been like boots on the ground in the disaster zone, it's really surprising. And it's almost like he's seeing his presidential aspirations evaporate. And he's a little salty about it.
Let's just put it the way it is. Right now, his presidential aspirations are going up in flames.
There it is.
It was there,
soon, I
and
think
I'm just telling you, I feel bad for the people out there.
Yeah.
But Gavin Newsom had an opportunity to show leadership, and he didn't.
He didn't.
And he didn't in a way that is just complete incompetence.
And when the mayor was gone, and it was obvious the mayor was gone, did Gavin Newsom step in and fill the gap of leadership? I didn't see that happen.
No. And he actually blamed it on the locals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll have to find out from the locals.
Yeah.
Or, I can't talk to you now, ma'am. I'm calling the president.
I'm on the phone with the president, except I'm not.
So, first of all,
I can't get a signal.
the president was so bad that he didn't get to run for office again. So in a crisis and in an emergency, you're calling the guy that your own party dumped, and you're asking, I mean, if Gavin Newsom had said, I'm talking to the assistant to the president, I would have been like, oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. I'm talking to the president's chief of staff. This might solve something. Yes. But calling Joe Biden and expecting him to remember what you said after the conversation and actually get you help kind of speaks to your leadership.
Gavin, I've got a pro tip for you if you wanted to get Joe Biden on the phone. DoorDash the man some ice cream with a note that says, open after you call this number, wink, wink.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, he would have called you. Wouldn't have had a problem getting through.
I think the other note should be, hey, big guy.
No, don't say that.
Call this number, and I've got your 10%.
Yeah.
I think Joe would have called that number faster than the ice cream number.
I don't think he would have called that number.
I'm thinking that's it.
I think ice cream wins. Put in the chat. Who do you think wins?
Yeah.
Who gets the call back from Joe Biden? DoorDash ice cream or
the big guy.
I got your 10% big guy?
I got your 10%. The other one, if Gavin Newsom had said, hang on, I'm talking to Hunter Biden or Jill Biden, I would have believed there was something that might have happened after that. Joe would have taken credit for it, but at least he would have admitted, I'm talking to somebody who can make a rational decision. Because I don't think Joe's making rational decisions.
He tells that woman, I'm on the phone with the president. And she's like, brilliant, put it on speaker. I want to hear what he has to say.
I love that comment.
And his face, the amount of, oh, poop.
Yeah.
I'm not on the phone with the president. Like, that's always worked. I've always been able to be like, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone.
You completely called me out on it.
On the phone.
Called me out on it, and I wasn't ready to be called out on it.
Oh, he got salty.
Yeah.
I think he fruited his looms.
Maybe. All right, we got some 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 questions here.
Keely had a question. Is there something in place to keep the soon-to-be outgoing administration from signing orders that would affect the incoming administration? So what I feel like is that once you're a lame duck, there should be no more executive orders. If you get anything done legislatively in Congress, fine. I think executive orders should be suspended after the election. Unpopular opinion.
I think, I don't, it was a great idea, but they might actually need an executive order in an emergency situation. So I think you leave the president with presidential powers. Executive order can be undone. Mm-hmm. The very first. So everyone that Joe is signing now, the Trump administration is just going to
That's what Joe Biden did.
It's what Joe Biden did. So if you want to play that, you can write all these executive orders and do all this stuff, and again continue to send the Secret Service to the border if you need to. Yeah. But I have to laugh because it's a stupid game of one administration, Democrat or Republican, writes all the executive orders, and then the other one comes in and changes them. It's like, what'd you accomplish? And in some cases, like, we're trying to make a political point. No, you just showed that the system doesn't work when you misuse it this way. not the way it was intended to work.
I
So,
hope that with this election, enough people in DC are like, okay, we have to actually be the bull in the china shop and get this stuff done, or else we're toast. I hope that's what happens. That's what Nancy Mace was saying on Tim Pool.
I will simply tell you, there are a lot of people in the United States that are completely frustrated with where things are now and the lack of governance. And I don't think the American people are going to put up with it. And the midterms might be a bloodbath, but it might be a bloodbath in the primaries.
Yeah.
More so than in the general election. Because both parties are guilty of doing nothing. And both parties are guilty of spending way too much money. And neither party has any discipline. They will run you over. The last place you want to be is between a politician in D.C. and a microphone. And
Term limits. There you go, Trump.
Wow.
There's your first executive order. Term limits for Congress.
I think he should do what Biden threatened to do and immediately go after the stock trades. That's the first thing. You would get some people's attention. And you might get some of them to leave if they don't have all this insider stock information.
Maybe.
All right. So what temperature is too cold?
Depends on what I'm doing.
48 apparently is not if you're in the ice bath.
If I'm in the ice bath, then I want it cold because that's the whole point. If I have to work in the water for whatever reason, 75 is too cold. But just average dry land, living my life. If I don't have to run around, then it can be as cold as it wants. I don't care. I prefer for it to snow if it's going to be cold. If it's not going to snow, then get out of here with your cold.
I think some of it has to do with the humidity.
Yeah.
So when it's damp here in Florida and it's cold, it feels a lot colder than if you go someplace
it cuts
else
right through your clothes.
and it's 10 degrees colder, but there's no humidity and it's a dry cold.
Yeah.
It's more comfortable.
Yeah, it really is.
This is when it gets wet, damp here in January and February, and then it gets down in the 30s. That's a cold.
When we were in Niagara Falls, February 2019, it was so dry that the snow was like fake snow. You couldn't get it to stick together to make a snowball. It was that dry, and it was so much fun to be outside in that snow. Yeah. And as soon as the weather front started coming in and everything got humid and damp, and we finally were able to make a snowman, which was fun, but it was miserably outside.
Cold. All right. Best food when it's cold.
Best food when it's cold. You have to go first. Reese's peanut butter cups.
No, I mean, I like food that you eat.
Yeah.
Not cold
Better
food, but
when
food
it's
that
cold.
like if it's cold outside, chili's phenomenal.
Oh, I want
chili is amazing.
I want baked potato soup.
Baked potato soup is amazing. Chili and soup are awesome at that
chicken
point
and
in time.
dumplings.
Yes.
Those are like the only two soups I like.
Darcy makes some pulled chicken soup that has all kinds of veggies in it, and sometimes she'll throw jalapenos in it. We got new jalapenos a couple weeks ago that were from a different brand. Didn't say hot, didn't say tamed, none of that stuff on there. They're jalapenos.
Yeah.
They're good. But I'm going to tell you, if she puts the same amount in she used to put in, ooh, that's going to be some hot soup.
We got a batch of spicy jalapenos. And my husband and my son decided to like man up to the jalapenos, and that was a fun dinner, That was hilarious. It's more fun than watching someone get kicked in the balls on what was that show?
Only a woman
Kick in
can
the
say it's
balls
more fun to watch somebody get kicked in the balls.
The video show with Bob Saget.
Only you.
You know, it was world's funniest kick in the balls show.
I don't think that was not on the male network. I can tell you that.
It was on ABC, I think.
I don't know. I don't think ABC would even.
National Funniest Videos? You'd vote on it?
America's Funniest
Videos.
Right. Best food that's served cold.
Best food that's served cold.
You can still go back with your potato soup.
I mean, potato soup cold, terrible. I don't like most cold foods. Like I don't eat cold pizza. I don't like it. I'll heat it up.
Yep.
I'll warm up my chicken when I make chicken salad.
Yeah.
Not hot, but just not cold. I don't like food cold. That's why Reese's peanut butter cups in the freezer is tragic to me. I can't do it.
I think Reese's peanut butter cups have to be cold when they're hot. They're just not good when they're hot.
I'll even have vanilla ice cream that I put hot cocoa powder on and stir it until it's liquid, basically, and it's just cold chocolate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen,
Gazpacho. You're supposed to eat gazpacho cold.
ice cream is awesome.
Ice cream. That's
cream is
best
awesome.
cold food. Yes.
Yes. Probably.
I
have
can't eat ice cream. I have my favorite ice cream. Louis bought it for me after the accident because I was hurting, and I don't buy it very often. And it's in the freezer because I had one serving, and then the next day I had to be carnivore, and so it's just staring at me in the freezer.
Oh, I would just eat that. What is your favorite ice cream?
Oh, it's so sad. I hate it because it's Ben and Jerry's. That's why I don't buy it very often.
Sell out.
It's Ben and Jerry's
Sell out.
fish food.
I don't even know who you are.
I know.
Sell out.
That's why I don't buy it very often.
Haagen-Dazs chocolate chip.
Yeah. Bluebell used to have an ice cream sundae, and like the fudge was all mixed in it. It was delicious, but they don't sell it anymore. But Publix Moose Tracks is really good. So I don't buy Ben and Jerry's hardly ever. Usually it's only when I'm like really in pain and emotional eating bad. But Publix Moose Tracks will do it for me.
Moose Tracks.
With the peanut butter cups. Those are the only good cold peanut butter cups.
Right. Cold spaghetti. Oh, I
No,
don't know.
I can't do
No,
that.
I gotta have that. So today I had
Oh, I
pizza
can't do
left
that.
over from. We went to dinner last night at Black Fly,
Mhm.
and they have a great carnivore pizza. It's
Yeah.
an amazing. It's so
Nice.
good. But I hate warming up pizza in the microwave. So we don't have a toaster oven upstairs in the office. So I just stuck it down in the toaster and toasted it back up, and it was pretty darn good.
When we had to replace our microwave, we got a dual microwave air fryer. And so the kids now are all about the air fryer. Like we'll get like Tyson pre-made chicken tenders, and they'll spend the 45 minutes to do the air fryer because you gotta heat it up, gotta put it in there. They don't even care. They'll take forever.
Have you had Otter Paws at Publix?
Haven't. What's in Otter Paws?
I don't know. Andy, what's in Otter Paws?
I don't like crunchy stuff in my ice cream. I've got all kinds of weird texture stuff.
So what's the weirdest
very
thing in your
strange.
fridge right now?
Weirdest thing in my fridge right now. It's probably like the circa 1950s cough syrup.
Do you buy that on eBay or Amazon?
You have to make it. It's a tablespoon of honey, a
Yes.
teaspoon of lemon, and a teaspoon of whiskey.
Yeah,
It works.
it works.
I swear by it.
I don't know what the weirdest thing in
the
ours.
weirdest
I don't. I'm trying to think what's in there that's weird.
Yeah.
Darcy will make a ginger lemonade. There's a couple other things that are in it. It's anti-inflammatory and for your
Yeah.
gut, and that sits in there. And occasionally, I'm like, I should try that. No, I won't try that.
Not
No,
gonna do it.
No,
It's probably
I won't
good.
try that. It's probably
We do
incredibly
have
good.
ginger in our refrigerator, and I believe we have tahini because my daughter was craving hummus,
Yep.
and her daddy was like, "Well, we have chickpeas, just make it." And so he tried to teach her how to make it, and she's like, "It's not as good as store-bought hummus." So Costco hummus is in our refrigerator, but we also have a jar of tahini.
All right, this was your question.
Mhm.
Your question. If you were a weather pattern right now, based on your mood, what weather pattern would you be?
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. I'm kidding. That's a movie.
I got you.
Animated movie. It's a lot of fun. What would I be? I'd probably be lukewarm and windy, partly cloudy.
Normally, I'd be bright and sunny.
Normally.
I'm fighting off a little bit of a cold, so I feel like I'm like a frontal boundary right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get over this,
Mhm.
but I'm still fighting off the last bit of this cold. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh.
And it's not awful bad. I feel a lot better than it last week. I'm gonna freeze this thing out.
Keely says heat up pizza in a skillet.
That would be awesome too.
Yeah.
We actually make pizza. We do cast iron skillet
That's
pizza
right, that you
sometimes.
do.
Oh, that is so good, Keely. Cast iron skillet pizza. You got to get the dough from Publix, but it is amazing. And there's a whole way to cook it. You got to move it from one rack to the next rack so it cooks the bottom and the top. And But it's like deep dish pizza. It's like the
Yeah.
best Chicago deep
love
dish pizza.
deep dish pizza.
Oh.
That Pizza Hut personal pan pizza, that was like, I would earn that. I was such a slow reader that it was, well, I have dyslexia. So I was a really slow reader. And like, it was really intimidating for me to get through a book when I was in elementary school.
Yep.
And I was just starting to read. But I would slog through it because I wanted to earn that personal pan pizza. I love me a thick crust pizza.
I do too. It's like the next day, and then I feel like I've eaten a whole
Oh,
loaf
yeah.
of bread. I'm like,
I love it until an
why
hour
am I
later.
so sluggish the next day?
An hour later, I'm fully regretting it, but
Yeah.
it's so good.
Why am I so sluggish? But it is good pizza.
It is good.
It is good, especially if you salt the
Oh yeah, salt the pan,
Salt
and
the
put the dough
pan.
in.
rim
put-
of the crust.
Do you put any oil in the bottom of the pan?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta.
There's a whole way to cook that.
I know.
You gotta be
I
cooking
didn't know
it.
that was what you do.
Yes.
And then my husband was in the pizza business for a while,
Uh-huh.
and he was a little salty with me because I was like, "Well, do you have a thick crust pizza?" And he's like, "This is thick crust." I'm like, "No, it's not.
No.
Not thick enough."
Andy, I'm spaghetti models 10 days out. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
That's the best one. That's the best answer.
That is the best answer.
That is definitely the
you in
best
the
answer.
comments today, Andy.
Yep. All right. You guys have a great night. The
Yeah.
morning show will be here. The afternoon show will be here. Davey will grace us with his presence tomorrow night.
So sunshine tomorrow.
Yes, sunshine tomorrow. Davey will be here. All right. You guys have a great night. Thank you.
Bye.